Comparing Nigerian comedy with other African comedies. African comedy is a rich and diverse genre, deeply rooted in the continent's varied cultures and traditions. With each country having its own unique comedic styles, the landscape of African comedy is both colorful and multifaceted. Among the prominent players in this arena is Nigerian comedy, which has gained significant recognition both locally and internationally. This essay seeks to compare Nigerian comedy with other African comedies, focusing on their styles, themes, and cultural influences, while also examining how they contribute to and reflect the broader African comedic landscape. Nigerian comedy. Nigerian comedy has evolved from traditional forms of storytelling and performance to become a major component of the country's entertainment industry. Traditional Nigerian comedy often involved folklore, proverbs, and oral traditions. But modern Nigerian comedy has been significantly shaped by the advent of television and stand-up performances. Comedians like Ali Baba and Basketmouth have been pivotal in popularizing stand-up comedy in Nigeria. The Nollywood film industry has also played a significant role in integrating comedy into various film genres, adding a new dimension to Nigerian humor. Styles and themes. Nigerian comedy is known for its dynamic and vibrant style. It often incorporates elements of satire, parody, and observational humor. The comedic narratives frequently revolve around social issues, everyday life, and political satire. Nigerian comedians are adept at blending local dialects and pidgin English with standard English, creating a unique comedic language that resonates with a broad audience. A popular style within Nigerian comedy is the use of slang and humorous exaggeration. Comedians like AY and Bovi utilize elaborate and often exaggerated scenarios to highlight the absurdities of everyday life. Their routines frequently address topics such as corruption, societal norms, and personal relationships, often with a self-deprecating twist. Cultural influences. Nigerian comedy is deeply influenced by the country's diverse ethnic cultures and languages. The comedy often reflects the social and cultural dynamics of Nigeria, including issues related to tribalism, religion, and the political climate. The use of local languages and references to traditional customs creates a relatable and authentic comedic experience for Nigerian audiences. Comparisons with other African comedies. South African comedy. South African comedy, while also diverse, tends to reflect the unique historical and socio-political context of the country. Post-apartheid South African comedy often deals with themes of race, identity, and social justice. Comedians like Trevor Noah have gained international acclaim for their ability to address sensitive issues with wit and humor. Noah's comedy often involves commentary on racial and political issues in South Africa, providing a critical yet humorous perspective on the nation's challenges. South African comedians frequently use satire to address the country's complex socio-political landscape. The comedic style can be both sharp and introspective, with a focus on the impact of historical events on contemporary life. The use of multiple languages, including Afrikaans and various indigenous languages, is also a hallmark of South African comedy, adding layers of cultural nuance to the humor. Kenyan comedy. Kenyan comedy is another vibrant facet of African humor, characterized by its use of observational comedy and social satire. Comedians like Churchill, Daniel Ndambuki, have been instrumental in popularizing comedy in Kenya. The Churchill Show, a significant platform for Kenyan comedians, often features a mix of stand-up routines and skits that address everyday issues faced by Kenyans. Kenyan comedy often explores themes such as corruption, economic struggles, and social norms, similar to Nigerian comedy. However, it tends to focus more on local and community-specific issues. The humor is frequently grounded in the everyday experiences of Kenyans, making it highly relatable to local audiences. The use of Swahili and Shang, a blend of Swahili and English, in comedic performances helps to capture the local flavor and appeal. Ghanaian comedy. Ghanaian comedy, like its counterparts, draws from the rich cultural tapestry of the country. Comedians such as Funny Face and Kalaibos have gained popularity for their ability to infuse humor into everyday situations. Ghanaian comedy often features a mix of slapstick humor and social commentary, with an emphasis on entertaining narratives and character-driven jokes. Ghanaian comedians frequently use local languages and cultural references to connect with their audiences. The humor often revolves around themes of family dynamics, social expectations, and local customs. The comedic style is generally light-hearted, with a focus on creating laughter through relatable scenarios and character-driven stories. Tanzanian comedy. Tanzanian comedy, represented by comedians like Ruga Mutahaba and Joti, is known for its unique blend of traditional and contemporary comedic elements. Tanzanian humor often incorporates storytelling, physical comedy, and musical elements. The comedic themes frequently address social issues, cultural practices, and everyday challenges faced by Tanzanians. Tanzanian comedians often use Swahili and local dialects to engage with their audiences. The humor is characterized by its playful and sometimes exaggerated approach to storytelling. This blend of traditional and modern comedic styles helps to create a distinct Tanzanian comedic voice. Common themes and differences. Common themes. Despite their differences, African comedies share common themes related to social commentary, cultural practices, and everyday life. Many African comedians use humor as a tool to address societal issues such as corruption, poverty, and social injustice. The ability to reflect on and critique social realities through comedy is a unifying feature across the continent. Differences in style. The primary differences in African comedy styles stem from regional cultural influences and historical context. For instance, Nigerian comedy often features a fast-paced, high-energy style with a focus on exaggerated scenarios, while South African comedy may lean towards more subdued, introspective humor with a strong emphasis on satire. Kenyan comedy tends to be grounded in everyday experiences and community-specific issues, whereas Ghanaian and Tanzanian comedies may integrate more traditional storytelling elements. Cultural reflections. Each country's comedic style reflects its unique cultural and social dynamics. Nigerian comedy's use of pidgin English and local dialects. South African comedies focus on racial and political issues. Kenyan comedy's emphasis on local community issues. Ghanaian comedy's blend of slapstick and social commentary. And Tanzanian comedy's integration of traditional storytelling all highlight the rich diversity within African humor. Conclusion. Comparing Nigerian comedy with other African comedies reveals a vibrant and diverse comedic landscape across the continent. Each country brings its own cultural influences, historical contexts, and comedic styles to the fore, contributing to a rich tapestry of humor that resonates with audiences both locally and globally. While Nigerian comedy is characterized by its energetic and often exaggerated style, other African comedies offer unique perspectives and approaches that reflect their own cultural and social realities. Together, these comedic traditions illustrate the power of humor as a universal language that bridges cultural divides and provides insight into the human experience across Africa.